Good morning, everybody. Glad to see y'all. Grab your cup of coffees and join us for a little while. About 35, 45 minutes. We're going to come in here and give you a little bit of energy, some excitement, some love to let you know that this is a new day. It's a new journey. It's a new adventure of what you are going to make it today. So, did you get up and tell yourself, I loved you? Did you get up and say, hey, this is my day? Did you get up and say how awesome you are to yourself in that mirror? I know I did quite a few times. And I'm still telling myself how handsome I look right inside this camera right here this morning. You know why? Because I feel good about me and my energies and my vibrations of where I'm going within my life. The people that I get to meet, the energies that I get to grab off of them, the love, the appreciation, and just the fellowship that we get to have by people that are commingling with the correct, not the correct, but the same like mind. Okay. I like it to say correct because it's perfect for me right now. It's working good in my vibrations and my energy, bringing me to a new levels of life that I never even fathomed that I could truly be in. Why? Because I was always in that negative state of that lack of mindset of knowing that, well, I'm going to go work this job and yeah, I'll get the hours, I'll get this little bit of money. And then, hey, I might have some left over because my truck is taken care of by the bank. My home is taken care of by the bank. My boat is taken care of by the bank. The four-wheelers, the guns, the bank owns it all. Do I really own anything? No, I own this physical body right here because at that one point in my life, the bank owned everything. I was always in that lack of mindset because I'd get a check and I'd have to turn around and send it right back out. And I had little bitty funds to live on. Then I changed my mindset one day to live in the I'm not in the lack of anymore. I am abundant in many ways because I have a roof over my head. I do have a job. I do have the physical abilities to be able to take care of all those toys that I have, all those things, those material possessions. Well, then one day, it turned out with the keeping of that mindset, with making that a habit within my life, to keeping me flowing every day within that better energy, I put myself every morning in a gratitude state when I wake up for everything that I already have. And then guess what? Those things started becoming truly mine because I paid one out off, then I doubled the money over, and then I paid another one off, then I doubled that money, and then compounded them down to guess what? I'm a debt-free man because I followed a simple process and stayed sticking with it every day, seeing the bigger picture of the outcome that was going to happen if I stayed diligent. But yet, if I would have kept that same mindset and then got that money and say, oh, I got a raise, I paid something off, and then me turn around and go buy something else, would that have done me any justice? No. So I knew each day was going to be a new day because I was going to get myself into a state to where I didn't have any of the bills so I could actually retire at a younger age. Crazy concept, huh? I didn't want to work till I was 65, then go enjoy life. I figured out another process of where I could start making monetary funds and getting these debts paid off and how I could work just a little bit extra on some things or pick up an extra little job to start paying off those debts that I had acquired to move my life into a different energy so I can wake up each day and say, yes, this is a new day. The sun is up. This is the first time I've ever seen it in this time space reality of the 24 hours that I have until the sun goes down again, right? So this entire day is a new journey, a new adventure. Where do you want it to go? What do you want to do today? All right, you know the things that you have to take care of. Many people are still living in that I want it now attitude. And we're starting to show people how, okay, you have a lot of things already now. Let's take care of what you have now and get this into a better balance because we got things so jacked up over here. We might need to get things a little bit down in order to where you can bring your life into a better balance. Then when you find that balance, then you can start rocking together with your vibrations. And then guess what? You're flowing each day when you wake up with that perfect vibration because you gave it the intentions of happiness before you went to sleep in that meditative state. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're still in that happy energy state because you're not dwelling on the lack of from yesterday. You're not dwelling on the lack of this morning when you wake up. You're waking up and moving your life and your energies to, you know what? This is going to be an awesome day. I will have better gratitude for the things that I have. I will have a better gratitude for the abundance that I'm wanting to receive because if I don't get into that receiving mode, then I'll never receive it. Learning how to get in the receiving mode is not a one-day thing. Boom. Not going to happen. You got to give yourself a little bit of time. Change some habits. 30-day period is a good shot. 365 is a whole lot better. because you're living your life, your journey. You're bringing you where you want to go within life, and nobody else is doing that journey, guys. Waking up with intentions of life and those new adventures, and knowing that this is a new sunrise and you've never lived it. Enjoy this day. Enjoy all the moments of it. And then once you say that you're truly happy with everything and you know where you're going, all the excuses go out the window. Because all you're doing is failing yourself. You're quitting on you. Don't quit on you when you want something. Go after it. Just because somebody else said, well, maybe, man, you might want to stop and think about that for a second. You're getting a little bit older than you used to be. Yep. But right now, I'm going to do it. Why? Because it's making me feel good. I want to go skydiving at 42. I'm going skydiving at 42. Do I have bad knees and feet? Yes. Did I care? I didn't care. Why? Because it was something I'd never done in my life, and I wanted to try it. I wanted to see what it felt like. And when I did it, I went back the next weekend. And then guess what? My boy showed up 2 weeks later. We went and did it again. Why? It was so much fun. I had fun with it. Not everybody likes heights because they've never truly tried it. That was something I had never done. Some people, don't like planes. Some people just don't. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're wanting to do, whatever your adventures that makes you just past that uncomfortable zone, just enough to say, you know what? I'm not going to the gravesite with any regrets. It was something that came up. I wanted to try it. I did it. Didn't like it? Cool. Then you can figure that out. But if you never try, then how will you ever know? You have to try first to be able to say, you know what? I gave it a shot, but it truly wasn't for me. Or I gave it a shot and it shot my life into a whole different realm that I never even thought it could. Why? Because you open up your mind and your thought process a little bit to the opportunities that are truly out there. The things that you could do, and then it'd be like, wow, if I would have just gave it a little bit more, if I would have just kept digging just a little bit deeper, I would have found that bigger diamond. If I wouldn't have just given up on me, because this physical body is yours. When you give up on it and you start laying around and you're living in that dwelling and that lack of and the poor pitiful me state, and you don't move those muscles, then guess what? You start losing that muscle mass. You start losing that mind because you're not getting the true nutrients that body needs, which is the sunlight, the food, the correct hydration, physical movement, and we need camaraderie. We need people. Nobody came to this planet say, I'm going to be a hermit. No one. No one inspires to do that every day until they go through life for a while. Then they say, you know what? I don't want to deal with people anymore. Then they become a hermit. But nobody comes born into this earth to say, I'm going to be a hermit. No, we come here for adventures, journeys, creativity, and love. We get the love from the networking of people, the people that we're around, the energies and the emotions and the situations that we go through. This is a temple. This is an awesome machine you have. Treat it like one. Bring it where you want it. Make it look like you want it. You are beautiful in the own way. You don't need all the Botox. You don't need all the extra makeup. You are beautiful in your own beautiful way. The natural way that you came in here. The crazy hair and everything, JJ. You're still beautiful. We love you just like you are. We're not here to judge anybody for what you're going through. We're not here to judge anybody for the situations of life. Those are just things that happen, and you learn through those that made you a stronger person to where you are today. You're beautiful and you're awesome in every single shape, form, or fashion. Own it. That's it. Own it. Go ahead, Brother Julio.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and take part of what you said, Thomas, that I was already going to speak on this morning. And you were referencing, as you said, try something new, don't give up, things of that nature. Well, I'll take that as far as that idea and run with that because, what are you bringing to the table? Like, Cameron was talking about few weeks ago, rather, when he first dropped his bombshell. He gave me an idea, and I've been kind of day by day thinking about it. Like, what form of authenticity are we putting out there in the world? What form of authenticity are we bringing, to the forefront, to the table? How are we giving the world, us? We always talk about becoming the better version of ourselves, every single morning, which is great. That emphasis is still created here this morning. We're still focusing on that, the better version of us, and giving the better version of us and working on that. But giving it to the world, showing the world, our talents, our treasures, they're not just for us. Showing the people, who we are. I speak about that all the time as far as your identity. You learning what it is, what you want, to put, to the forefront, what you want to bring to the table. But I say, Thomas, we always talk about the whole trying aspect, and I know you use that word to describe it, so not to take anything from what you were just saying, but Cameron was talking about how through going through our life or going through different situations, how we kind of, it'll show whether or not you're supposed to be doing that, whether or not you're supposed to be excelling in that area, in that business, and, in that area of expertise or in that talent, regardless of what it is, whatever the area specifically is, are you supposed to be excelling? Are you supposed to be doing that? Maybe you're called to do something else. Now, Thomas, we talk about all the time how overwhelming the public can be, or adding people on social media, and they want to go ahead and you should do this. Hey, jump on this idea, jump on this idea, jump on that idea. There's an abundance of people connecting on social media, trying to bring whatever they want and force upon other things, to the forefront, and try to say, hey, well, jump on this idea, jump on this business endeavor, jump on this and jump on that. Don't give up in that transition. And at that, these individuals, they're pushing their goals, their motives, their visions on you. Is that your vision? Is that what you want to do? Bring what your vision is to the forefront. And if you're supposed to be doing it, then when you go through trials and tribulations and tough situations and tough seasons, that'll determine whether or not that is for you or not. It might not be for you. Thomas is saying, hey, try it out. Give it your best. Exactly. This is more than just a 90-day thing. This is more just than a daily practice. It's a lot more than experiencing something for a week and just saying, it didn't work. It'll show. Time will, the test of time will show if your vision is supposed to be coming. If that thing, or whatever that thing you say you want your vision is, or whatever, if that's what you're supposed to be doing in life, if that's what your calling is, if that's what what you're inspired to, encouraged to do, or whatever the case may be, whatever, I don't know what that is. And this could pertain to so many different aspects. This is a very broad idea, because what I envision is not the same thing of what Thomas visions. Now, there's part of our journeys that kind of intertwine with each other. I understand that too, now, but everybody's is different. How you're going to be used, the ways that you're going to, the talents that you have, whether it be speaking, whether it be music, art, poetry, writing books. It doesn't matter what that is. Whatever you're bringing to the forefront, if that's for you, then it'll show little by little. As you stay consistent in it, as you grow in it, as you mature in it, then it'll stay. Now, if it wasn't destined for you, it wasn't predestined for you to do that, or, hey, this is too hard, I can't do this, or whatnot. Of course, you already know that's a mentality from the get-go. But through the testing of time, you'll see if that's what's in your destiny, if that's what you're supposed to be doing, if that's your calling in itself. It'll kind of weed out the people who are really planted and who are really, really rooted. And it is life. It is time, So stay consistent. We speak about that all the time. Stay consistent, stay encouraged, stay positive, of course. And it all starts with that mindset. It all starts with what you're telling. It all starts with words of positivity, washing yourself with positivity, washing yourself, with encouragement, and fending off negativity, anything that is not in your vision, anything that doesn't seek to serve you well, based off of what you're letting the universe know, what you're letting God know. Like, look, this is what I want. This is what I'm proclaiming. This is what I'm speaking. This is what I'm going to be living out. This is what I'm going to, be trying and giving my all day in and day out. No matter what, I'm going to stay dedicated to this. Thomas, where I'm at. And I saw all of this through my personal experience, guys. I've had so many people in the last 2 weeks randomly. This is just something different. kind of ask me, well, how did you get to this point, Julio? And to me, I'm like, I haven't even arrived. What are you guys talking about? How did I get to that point? Well, you're always so positive, Julio. Or, you sound so confident. Guys, there's times when, and Thomas could tell you, where I'm not confident. But I come across that way because I know what I want. Go ahead, Thomas, you say something? Yeah, yeah. No, we all experience, we're all human. So we all experience, I think sometimes people have this fallacy because it's what we're bringing to the forefront as if we don't experience things, and it's more along the lines of how we're learning to master ourselves, how we're learning to master our minds, how we're learning to master our emotions. It's a matter of practicing self-control. Now, if we're supposed to be the example to our children, to others, and our elders were the example to us once upon a time, right? That's how that works. So they teach us, we've been taught, now we teach the next generation, and that spiral, and that continues to go about day in and day out, and through our life experiences, we grow. Through our life experiences, we mature day in and day out. But it takes an individual being consistent. It takes us being intentional about our growth, being intentional about our direction. If a person doesn't have a vision, so I say this, if you're not sure what your vision is and what you want, then understand that you'll be led astray easier. You'll be distracted easier. You'll be detoured. Now, given you say you want, for example, you say you want destination A, but you have all of these B, C, D, E, F, you have all these other things that are coming your way. And you go, oh, wow, that looks good. And wow, that looks good too. Let me jump on this. Or wow, that looks great. Let me jump on this. You have all these other things, but you know your direction. So are these things helping you get to the point that you want to get to? Or are they kind of detouring you? Or are they delaying the process? Are they kind of offsetting you? And you go, wait a second. And you start going to the left, and you should have been going straight for the last 10 days, but you start going to the left and you go, wait a second, how the hell did I even get here? Hold on, let me get back on track. Let me go ahead. So that's what I'm saying. Anything that doesn't seek to help you in your vision, anything that doesn't help you, to align up with that, it's simply a detour, simply a distraction. It is trying to get you off the path. So pay attention to that internally. Pay attention to that in your mind. Pay attention to that in the spirit. Whether you're spiritually inclined or not, I want to say that if an average individual, just an average person, were to walk into the wrong atmosphere or something that kind of wasn't right, you would feel it. Why? Because there's something inside of you. I don't care who you are. There's something that, if you're paying attention, rather, there's something, you walk into that atmosphere and you go, wait a second, something's not right here. You can't quite put your finger on it, So I want to say, have your antennas up every day, no matter what. Anything that doesn't seek to help you and aid you in your vision, understand it is a detour and is nothing more than a distraction. And that's why I'm talking about the whole only time will tell. Thomas, can I add something to that? Based off of what we have, I mean, people of just let's refer to them as people of old. And I don't mean to use the term old in general. I just mean people of the past wish that they had, hope that they had, like they would have died to have something of what we have, you know, in social media, and putting out a word and putting out a message and giving out your vision and proclaiming and stating something of facts, you know, not just some random information, but stuff of value. Think about it. Let's use this as an example. Thomas, you talk about the zombie state, right? So let's pretend for a second this morning, guys, just for a few. So let's pretend there was this piece of information that needed to be broadcasted to the world, and you knew it. You knew it. Now, don't be selfish. Wouldn't you want the entire world to know? The entire world. Now, would you go to call Fox News? Would you go and call CNN? Would you go and you go, how could I get this message across? Not just to my family and my friends, but to the globe. How could I bring this message across? Whoa, we have a very powerful tool at our exposure, guys. Go ahead, pull it up, Thomas. Show them what it is. Oh, it's the cell phone. There you go. Ta-da! You know, no matter your service provider, guys, no matter the company that you are signed up with for a prepaid or a contractual account, whatever, doesn't matter. There you go. There you go. It doesn't matter. You can get whatever that message is, whatever you got to say, whatever the value it is that you have to bring to the forefront and to the table. You can get that message across the globe now. Free. Free. Now you can get it you can get it shown to a lot of other people if you spend a little bit of money. But if you had a message, something that you know needed to get out, $15, $5, $1, whatever the case is, you can get, and that message will be broadcasted across the globe with what we have here, regardless of what that message is. Think about that, guys. That is a very big idea. That is a very big tool. That is something that we all have. All of us, everybody on this, everybody viewing this, we all have that at our exposure. What are you doing with it? Think about that. I'm talking about purpose, though. You know, Thomas, that's what I was leading. That's where I was leading to. You felt that screaming. Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? I think the first year, Thomas, when people discovered the internet and things of that nature, what did it do? They played solitary. Everybody used computers to sit there and BS time and play solitary. Let's keep it real. Before the cell phone advanced to what it is today, the majority of people use the internet to just play. Let's label them as willy-nilly games to distract you, to keep you, you know, to keep your eyes set on something that had no importance, no relevance in itself. But what we have is a tool, guys. I want to say it is the most powerful tool, because this tool is bringing about awareness, and the world seems to be shocked on certain things and certain events that are going on now. Now it's almost like the world gets, don't get me wrong, we don't incorporate the news. We don't talk about the news too much on here, you know, in our morning motivation. But a lot of us don't watch it, and that's why we don't talk about it. But world events and this tool that we have, it's bringing about light to a bunch of different areas of the world. It's bringing about life to events that happen in your life, individual, in your life, person, in your inner city, or in your country, or in your state, or in your countryside, whatever, whatever the case may be. You're bringing about that. You have the capabilities of the stuff that happens to your little city, your little town locally. Now the world can see it. That's a powerful tool, guys. What are you doing with it, though? What are you doing with that? That's power. You have the most powerful tool known to man now. I want to say that's what it is. That's what we have. But what are you doing with it? Are you living on purpose, and are you using it with purpose?
I gotta say something, Julio, about that. What you just talked about a second ago. I am proud to say that I have never ever played a game on the internet. I don't play games. I play serious life and living and that kind of thing, and so yeah, I don't ever play any kind of games. I stopped playing video games and that kind of stuff when I was just before I got out of high school. But anyway, hey, I wanted to also mention one thing about what Thomas just said a minute ago about messaging him, because this is one of the things that I'm really hoping to get people to start paying attention to and start spreading the word about. Because quite frankly, I'm getting tired of getting friend requests from people and they don't tell me why in the heck they sent me a friend request. And so I have to go back and ask them, why did you send me a friend request? And then this, it's like, I'm trying to get people to think about the process of whenever you send a friend request, you also send a message and you tell that person why you sent them a friend request. So if you're going to send a message to Thomas, or you're going to send a friend request to Thomas or Julio or me, especially me, because if you don't send me a message along with it that tells me why, you're going to make me kind of irritated to start with, especially if you're one of these so-called marketing gurus who you're trying to get a hold of me so you can market your whatever thing to me, and then you can't even have the common courtesy and decency to tell me why in the heck you got in touch with me. And the truth is, there's so dang many scams going on out there. I want to know. I mean, I deleted 3 friend requests this morning just right off the bat because number one, they didn't send me a message, and number 2, they had a questionable looking profile and whatever. I mean, you're gone. You're out of this joint. So spread the word, kids.
Morning, everybody. I have a millionaire mind. I am a multimillionaire. I attract success into my life. I am learning and improving every single day. I attract the right people and knowledge into my life. I live abundantly. I am a dream chaser. I am reaching my full potential. I am passionate about all that I do. I am destined for greatness. I am changing the world for the better. Have a great day, everyone.